So we're going to now look at frequency tables. So just to kind of talk about it, the frequency of the number is the number of times the value of the data occurs. So I want you to imagine we have a data set. So I'm going to make a really small data set. So just like 1, 3, 3, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8. So if that's my data set, I could write this as 1 occurs once, 3 occurs twice, 5 occurs once, 6 occurs once, 7 occurs 3 times, and 8 occurs once. So this would be the number or the value. This would be the frequency or count with which it occurs. So then if I want to look at the relative frequency, of course I did. I want to look at the relative frequency, then I'm just going to make the ratio. It's just like we just did with the number of beads in each color. So we had, 19 white, 19 divided by 61 was whether 0.311 or whatever it was. So we make a relative frequency over here. So this is going to be 0.111, 0.222. I know how to divide by 9. And this is just 1/9. This is just 2/9, 1/9, 1/9. This is 3/9 or 1/3. And then 1/9. So we have our relative frequency. You can also make cumulative relative frequencies, although it's not something we do very often. I'm not going to do that, which just means you add up all the frequencies before it. So this would be like, this would still be 111 because there's nothing before it. And then if I added these up, this would be 333. So this means that the 3 or anything less than that happens, 3 out of 9, 1/3 of the time. Then I would add this again, and then add this one, and then add this one. Which would actually, this would actually start rounding up a little bit. There we go. And then this would be 1. So you would end up with everything by the end because everything is 8 or less in this data set. So this is 1 or less. So this is cumulative. So 1 or less, that was 1/9. 3 or less is 3/9. 5 or less is 4/9. 6 or less is 5/9. 7 or less is 8/9. And 8 or less is 1. Because that's what's going to happen. All right. So first we're going to start talking about categorical data. So here's a frequency table with categorical data or qualitative. And what we would actually do is we would make a relative frequency distribution. So we would go ahead and extend this to here by dividing all of these numbers. And this is some Skittles, right? So let's say I had a bag of Skittles that had 17 red, 15 yellow, 11 green, 10 orange, and 7 purple for 60 exactly. Gotta love the exactness of that. And then I find my relative frequencies simply by just dividing by the total every time. Now, there's something that does this for us. Let me show you that. So if we go to the web apps again, there's one called Explore Categorical Data. In fact, it's the very first one of the web apps. And here's what's nice about this. We look in here, And it gives us some random alligator food choice. Yay. But I want to do my own. So I'm not going to put in individual observations. That would like just be looking at, that's when you just look at each Skittle in the bag and you take them out and you go, okay, this one's red, write down red. This one's yellow, write down yellow. This one's blue, write down blue. This one's red, write down red. And that's a pain. We don't want that. We're going to do the frequency table that we just did. So we have 5 categories because we have 5 colors. Name of the variable. Oh, I already did that. Skittles color. So we can actually just put these in here real quick. So Skittles color, I'm gonna put this over here. There we go. Put it over there. There we go. Okay. So let's see. I've got red. Made that move. There we go. I've got red is 17. I've got yellow, 15. I've got green is 11. Orange is 10. And purple is 7. Don't put the total in because we don't want that. We just wanted the actual number of categories it has. So I can put a bunch of these options in here later, but I'm going to show you what this does. Pretty cool, right? It, in one fell swoop, basically gave me a relative frequency table right there. Love this thing. Okay. So it just gives me a relative frequency table and it gives me a percent. And it gives me a bar graph. I don't like this bar graph. Don't like it at all. Oh, that's worse. That's like when you have to read off the word, not the color. Yeah, this is annoying me. I can't stand it. Oh, there we go. That's not very good. Very top. There we go. There we go. I want it. Oh, that's a little green for me. All right, good enough. Okay. And then you just go in here and, oops. That's good. And then purple. Ah, that's good purple. Okay, there you go. That looks better, right? Okay, so you can change those if you want. It doesn't really matter. So I can do that. I can do all kinds of cool things. I can make a caption. I can make a title. I can show percent instead of the count of them. I can change it to percent. I can show the count in the bar so that I can see it better and know what that is, 17, 15, 11, 10, and 7. A Pareto chart, which it doesn't look any different here because it just puts the biggest one first. Now the cool thing too is you can also make a pie chart just by clicking pie chart. Go down to additional plots, pie chart, done. So pretty cool. So really kind of a very, 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 very useful program. Did I tell you these web apps were awesome or what? So, and they do have them for mobile. They do cost, it's not that much. It's, I don't know. I think they cost like a couple dollars, $2, $3 is all each one, but it's like probably $10 to get them all or something like that. I got them all because I wanted them, but I'm also a statistician too, so it's useful to me. So this is, we look back here. Oops, back here. There we go. So we can see how those are the same answers. I did tell you guys how to do things on a TI calculator in there if you want to. And this right here is the whole, what I just did is written out in the notes. So I wanted you guys to see that. One of the things I did also want to show you on the Art of Stat site is that you can also, do you see this little, if you roll over a graph, you can see this little camera in the corner. So if you need to download a graph, this is the best way. You just click on this little camera and it actually downloads that plot for you. And you can do that in both plots. So if I go and I look at my File Explorer, which I don't know where that just came up. Right here. There it is. Everything's different now. Okay. They updated my computer, so everything looks weird. So if I look at this plot that I just uploaded, yeah, whatever. All I want to do is look at it real quick. There we go. So then there it is. I have it in my computer. So you can upload, if you have to do an upload file for a homework, you have it. It's right there. And then, I mean, you're welcome to graph things by hand and take pictures. I don't really care, but this is very nice, easy way to do things. Some people would rather use Excel. That's fine too. If you're good at Excel, you could do all of this stuff in Excel too. So go back here, and that's all we're going to talk